Hey, what's up, you guys? Marty Schwartz here, GuitarJams.com. I'm going to bring you guys a little lesson on your basic drop D tuning and some common tricks that you'll see all the time that guitar players love to use in this tuning. Also, real quick, want to let you guys know, for a really short time, I'm having my super duper guitar coaching club offer. I brought it back just for a little bit. The link is right down there. You can see what's in it. It's basically everything I've ever created, every product I've ever created. And I'm going to pick 3 comments from this video to actually win that right there. Okay? So you can check it out. Leave a comment for a chance to win. Let's get to the lesson. Here we go. I want to show you guys how to go down into that drop D tuning. Basically, you have a low E string here normally on top. Play your chords that you've learned accordingly. What we want to do is drop that E down one step to a D note. The best way to do that, you know, if you play a regular D chord, when you play that in there, that doesn't really sound like it fits. We want that to actually be the root of that D chord. And what we can do is we can play the D string open, which is 1, 2, 3rd string down, or Eddie 8 dynamite. Eddie 8 dynamite. And we're gonna let that ring out so we can hear it, and then try and lower this E pitch till it matches up. Listen to me do it now. And I always find it's easier to tune your pitch when you're trying to match 2 pitches. I find that it's easier to bring the pitch from lower up to it. I find that's easier for my ear. So I think I got it there, but if I want to, you know, show you guys that example, I'll go even lower. And if you find all of a sudden it's out of tune again, lower it and then bring it back up. But as you see, those are pretty much matched up now. When I play a D chord, I can strum the whole guitar. So immediately we get one of our favorite sounding beginner chords, a D chord. But now we can strum the whole guitar and get this really full, deep bass note in there. So like I was saying, you can play this D chord all the way. But then there's also these tricks within this chord that are really cool. You hear it a lot. One, you can just take your middle finger off and let that high E ring out. And that gives you a nice little suspended 2 is what you'd call that. You could also just strum the D the way you normally do and then and keep pedaling back to that low note. But here's some really cool stuff, and another reason why I kind of said you could take your middle finger off is because we're going to use our middle finger to do pull-offs on the 3rd fret of the D string. You see that? So as you saw, I did the pull off on the A string 3rd fret. So the other thing I was doing is hammer-on pull-offs on the 3rd fret of the A and the 3rd fret of the D, but with the open strings. And then finally, you've got that same technique on the 3rd fret of this low, thick string. Usually I call it the E string, but it's tuned down to D now. It's actually our root. So we can get this. Now, more of a country bluegrass kind of thing. Down, down, up, down, up, 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 down, down, up, down, up. Now take some of those moments. So you can also hold those notes. And then we also want to add the 2nd fret of the A string as well, which is kind of like that C add 9, hammer-on pull-offs, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Now, some of the other chords that you would normally play in standard tuning, some of them you can do the same way because they don't have this top string. So like the C chord or the A chord or the A minor. But there's a few that we have to change a little bit. A really cool one is playing the E minor 7 chord is what it would be called. But basically, it's just 2 fingers, and it's the actual 2nd fret of this top string and the 2nd fret of the next string. Now, a couple others that are really cool. The main one you're going to want is to be able to play a G major chord. You can take the 2 fingers. I'm going to use my middle finger and ring finger and play the 5th fret of the top string and the 5th fret of the next string. You can play that as a G chord, but even better is to get a finger, index finger on the 3rd fret, the high E. Your ring and pinky instead if you need to reach that a little bit. And if you're a real beginner working with the tuning, you could just use Alright, so mess around with that, and I'll have a real nice song lesson coming up next. Remember also, you can leave a comment to win that DVD set that's right in that link that you can check out right there. Alright, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you soon.